Alright, anyway, sorry, bad lighting. I have yet to pick up 3 lights, so looks like a tractor beam coming down, you know, sucking me up. Anyway, today we're going to talk about if God's real, why can't I feel Him? And a couple of thoughts for you. One, what do you feel all the time anyway? If you always felt hungry, that'd be awful. Maybe you feel satisfied all the time. I don't really feel the same all the time ever. That's just weird. But a couple practical thoughts about why you may not feel God. One, you think about instant satisfaction. Sometimes you want to follow God and you think, well, if God loves me, then I'll always feel Him and He'll always be there. But it's kind of like your homework. If you're not, if you're always satisfied by doing it, you know, in an instant satisfaction, we'd all get 4.0s or weighted grades like 5 billion, whatever. So God doesn't work that way, and we gotta learn. There's this principle called delayed gratification. And it simply means that you just don't get the feelings when you actually do the work. And when you have the trust God and the faith in God, doesn't mean you're always going to get the feelings that follow that. And God said we walk by faith, not by feelings. And so we got to put our faith in God, even though it's difficult and it's hard sometimes. And this is what I think God's really trying to train us to do, is to trust Him more than we did before. And I know that sounds really simple, but think about it. There'll be something that God's going to call you to do, He's going to ask you to do, and when the moment you don't feel like doing it, you're going to stop. But what are you going to accomplish if you always do things that are easy things? You have to do hard things for God. And I think God has a plan for all of us to do something really, really big. But when you do big things, they're not easy. They're complicated and they get dirty and muddy, and it's frustrating sometimes. And God is asking us to do those things. And Dan Brown said it best: the faith that can't be tested can't be trusted. And so I think when you don't feel God, God's just trying to teach you and try to create you to have more faith in Him, so that when He does call you to do something great, you don't just stop doing it. And I can think of examples of missionaries and people who sacrifice their time and their talent and their lives to follow God, and it doesn't turn out the way they thought it was. But you know what? God had something bigger for them they didn't see. And I thought about my own life. When I was in high school, I was a senior and all my friends graduated, you know what I'm talking about. And it got difficult and didn't know what to do. And I thought, well, man, is this real or not? I'm going to follow God. And you know what? I made some really awesome friends in our church, and it changed the course and direction of my life forever. And it is all because I had a time period where things were hard. And so maybe you feel that way now, and my encouragement to you is to continue to follow God, even though it is difficult and may seem pointless and confusing and you just spin your tires. But God's going to use you, and He's using those moments to make you better. And you'll see one day, because when I look back, the hardest things I've done, maybe distance from God at times or feel that way, I look back and have the most joy and pleasure from the times that I went through that, because of the decisions I made to still follow Him, because it had the most impact, it bore the most fruit. I saw people saved, I saw my life change, the direction and the course of it, because I had to confront issues in my life and had to work through stuff. And so I think God's just preparing you for something great. And just don't look at it and say, man, God's not there. Look at it and say, you know what? God's trained me to do something better with my life. And so if you can, post about your feelings about this conversation. And if you get a chance to pick up the book, Purpose-Driven Life, a lot of these thoughts come from Rick Warren's book. And start picking up. This is day 13. So anyway, peace out. See you tomorrow. Go to church. Bye-bye.
Will I believe you when you say your hand will guide